Everyone, welcome back to my channel Baggy's Biology. So in this video session we are going to discuss about the topic that is mitosis. So this mitosis is a basic concept from the 10th standard to the competitive exams. So let's learn this topic in a easy way and don't miss the end. Some question is waiting for you. So here, what is mitosis? And during the mitosis, how the cell feels. So here are the two cases of the cells. In a one case, the cell is thinking the mitosis is a nuisance. And the other case, the cell is thinking the mitosis is happiness. So let's discuss what actually happening. What are the stages are involved in mitosis? What are the cellular changes are going to take place? So here is a case as we have already studied. This mitosis is a part of a cell cycle, as the cell cycle involves the interphase where it is containing the G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. Already we have discussed in previous video sessions. At the end of a G2 phase, the cell is ready to enter into the cell division, that is nothing but a mitosis. So this particular mitosis stage is actually involving the two phases again, karyokinesis and cytokinesis. So the nuclear changes or the karyokinesis are divided into the four phases. Those are prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. At the end of a telophase, the karyokinesis is going to be completed. The cell is undergoing the cytokinesis where we are getting a two cells. So about each and every phase we are going to discuss in this video session very clearly. So these are all the different stages of mitosis and how the cell is going to divide, how the daughter cells are formed, what is a chromosomal number, how the chromosomes are arranged during the cell division, everything we are going to discuss here. So let's have a small introduction about this mitosis. Usually it is a Greek word which came from mitos. Mitos is nothing but thread. Okay, so we are having another names for this mitosis division, that is equal chromosomal division or equational division or homeotype division. Okay, why we are saying a equal chromosomal division is there are a equal number of chromosomes will be present in our daughter cells which were given from a parental cell. So here the parent cell is going to divide it into the two daughter cells during this mitosis division, and those two daughter cells are also having a equal number of chromosomes. For example, the parent is a diploid, so the daughter cells will also getting a two sets of chromosomes or diploid chromosomes. So this mitosis was first observed by the scientists Strasburger and Fleming. So as you have seen here, Edward Strasburger and Walter Fleming. So these two were the scientists who observed the mitosis. Strasburger observed in plant cells, whereas Walter Fleming observed the mitosis in animal cells. Okay, so in a plant cells, the mitotic division can be seen in both the type of cells, both the haploid as well as the diploid type of cells. We can see this cell division. When compared to the animal cells, this is occurring only in diploid somatic cells. So there is a small difference in both the cells, both in a plant as well as animal cells, mitosis division is going to take place. But in plant cells, both the haploid and diploid cells undergoing the mitotic division. Whereas in animal cells, only diploid somatic or vegetative cells only undergoing the mitosis. And some of the social insects, they will be having a haploid cells. In some social insects only, the haploid cells are undergoing the mitosis division, except that all the animal cells, as they are having the diploid cells, those cells are only undergoing the mitotic division. So here we are having the phases, four important phases of a karyokinesis. Those are prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase, as well as at the end of a telophase we have a cytokinesis process also. So let's look into this topic. The karyokinesis. Karyokinesis is nothing but, carry on means nucleus. Kinesis means splitting or dividing. So division of nucleus or splitting of nucleus is called as a karyokinesis. So this division or splitting of nucleus is of 4 types. So these stages are common in mitosis as well as meiosis also, but we have a small changes we are going to discuss in this series of videos. So we have the 4 types of divisions: prophase, metaphase, anaphase as well as telophase. So you need to remember in this order only. For example, you can remember as PMAT: prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Okay, so here let's discuss about the prophase. What is actually happening in prophase? What are the cell organelles are useful for the cell division? What are the changes are occurring inside of a cell? Everything we'll discuss now. The chromosomes appear, they are condensed type of chromosomes, and the nuclear envelope is not apparent in this prophase. So what are the actual changes in prophase is? So usually the karyokinesis or the splitting or the division of a nucleus is begins with the prophase, which is a first phase or starting phase of a mitosis. We can observe the 2 changes. Those changes are nuclear changes as well as the cytoplasmic changes. Nuclear changes are nothing but the changes which are occurring inside of a nucleus are considered as a nuclear changes. The changes occurring in cytoplasm considered as a cytoplasmic changes. So these changes are different in plant cell as well as animal cell also. So let's look at the nuclear changes in plant cells. Okay, so here as you have seen, this is a fate of a cell whenever the cell is in a prophase. So here the chromosomal condensation can be seen in prophase by losing the water to form a distinct chromosomes. So the condensation of a chromosomes is happening, all the water that is going to be lost to form a distinct or a clear chromosomes. So in this phase we can observe a long thread-like chromosomes are called as a prochromosomes. So the term is very important. We can find this long thread of chromosomes, we call it as a prochromosomes. So in a mid of a prophase, the mid stage of a prophase, the chromosomal arms are going to be split longitudinally. So let me explain in a clear manner. So we are having a lengthy chromosome or a long thread-like chromosome like this. Okay, so this long thread-like chromosomes are called as a prochromosomes. In a mid of a prophase, once the prophase is started, in the mid stage the chromosomal arms are going to split. So they are just going to split like this. So the splitting will be done longitudinally except the centromere. So this particular centromere part we cannot find any splitting. So whenever this arms or the chromatids are splitting, we will be getting a 2 chromatids or 2 arms for each chromosome. So this particular chromosome is forming a, it is not the centromere is not undergoing the longitudinal division, only the chromatids are undergoing the longitudinal division. So they are just going to split longitudinally. We got the 2 chromatids. So these 2 are called as a chromatids or the arms. The center part which where the chromatids are attached, we call it as a centromere. So we can get this type of chromosome in a mid of a prophase. So at the end of a prophase, the 2 chromatids of each chromosome becomes more distinct and more clear. We can observe them very clearly at the end of a prophase. So we are having some of the changes in this prophase is, one is disappearance of nucleolus. Nucleolus is a dark colored spot inside of a cell that is going to be disappear, and some of a cell organelles like Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, nuclear membrane, all these are going to be disappeared in this prophase. Okay, now due to this, whenever this nuclear membrane is disappeared, all the chromosomes which are present inside of a nucleus, they are going to be scattered in a cytoplasm. Okay, so you can observe here as this nuclear membrane is disappeared, all the chromosomes which are present inside are going to be scattered into the cytoplasm. And if it is in a animal cell, so till now we have discussed about the plant cell. If it is in an animal cell, it is having a one more cell organelle which is having a main function in a cell division. Those are centrioles. So these centrioles are very important in an animal cell for the cell division, as they are forming a spindle fibers, and those will be useful for the cell division as they are attaching to the chromosomes, and will be useful for the chromosomal splitting or the separation. We'll just discuss now. So at the end of this nuclear changes in a plant cell, we can observe all these chromosomes are scattered in a cytoplasm due to the disappearance of a nuclear membrane. So all these are the changes we can observe in a case of plant cells. So let's look at the changes in the animal cells. If it is in an animal cell, we can see only the cytoplasmic changes. So what were those is the centrioles which are present in a cytoplasm. Those are the type of cell organelles which are they are present in a cytoplasm. They are divided into the two. Okay, one centriole is dividing into the two centrioles, and those are moving to the opposite poles. Okay, those are moving to the opposite poles. So what is the function of this centriole is, these are producing a substance of fibers, we call it as a spindle fibers. Okay, so we can see here these are the centrioles, they are forming a spindle fibers, and along with the spindle fibers throughout these centrioles will be having a small formation of a rays. We call those rays as astral rays. Okay, so astral rays are formed. So astral rays radiate from each daughter centriole, so which will be useful for initiation of assembly of all the mitotic spindle fibers taking place with the help of a microtubules. Okay, so these are the two changes are occurring in nucleus as well as the cytoplasm. Nuclear changes observed in the case of plant cell, and cytoplasmic changes observed in the case of animal cells. Okay, so we have a one more phase also, that is pro-metaphase, which is a previous stage to the metaphase. So let's see what are the changes are going to happening in a metaphase. So already we have discussed about the prophase, that is a first stage of a mitosis. So the next we are having a metaphase. So the metaphase cell is going to look like this. All the chromosomes are coming at the center, and the centrioles are moved to the poles. Those are forming the astral rays, and the long fibers will be called as the spindle fibers, or the spindles will be attached to the centromere part of a chromosomes. Okay, so let's see what is happening to this metaphase and how the chromosomes look. So metaphase is nothing but the complete degradation of nuclear envelope can be seen. So in this phase, the nuclear membrane is completely degraded, or it is going to be disappear. Okay, so the chromosomal condensation is completed. Okay, each chromosome is containing the two chromatids, which can be seen very clearly under the microscope when you are going to observe the cell in a metaphase stage. Okay, so this particular stage is very important for the study of morphology of the chromosomes. So that study of morphology of the chromosomes is called as a karyotype. So metaphase is a best phase for karyotype. Okay, or for the study of the morphology of the chromosomes. Okay, the spindle fibers are connected to the kinetochores of each chromatid. So already we know the structure of chromosome, how it is going to be appear. It is having the centromere, the center part to which all the chromatids will be attached, and around the centromere we have a plate or a disc type of structures. We call it as a kinetochores. So these spindle fibers are going to attach to the kinetochores of a chromosome. So the chromosomes which are scattered in a cytoplasm, so in the prophase all the chromosomes are scattered in cytoplasm, right? Those are going to be settled, and they are just going to migrate towards the center portion of a cell, or the equator of a cell. So as you have seen here, Previously in a prophase all the chromosomes are scattered, but here all the chromosomes are migrated. They are coming at a equatorial plate, so or equatorial region, and whenever they are just migrated, they are arranged in a linear manner. We call that as a metaphase plate. It is forming like a plate as it is formed in a metaphase stage of cell division. We call it as a metaphase plate. So metaphase plate will be formed in a metaphase as all the chromosomes are migrated to the center. Okay, so these chromosomes, they are just orient themselves on the equator and it is forming a metaphase plate. Okay, so let's discuss about spindle apparatus. Spindle apparatus is formed from cytoplasm. Okay, in the case of plant cell, because the plant cell doesn't contain any cell organelle to produce the spindle fibers. It doesn't contain any centrioles, as we already know. So that's the reason this spindle apparatus is present in the case of plant cells. So these are special fibers called as a spindle fibers. They are just developing from each pole of a cell from the cytoplasm. So the entire structure is going to look like a fiber spindle. So it is called as, on both the sides it is looking with the fibers and the spindles on both the sides. So it is called as a bipolar spindle apparatus. Okay, we can also call it as FOL, fall. So as it is having the spindle apparatus on both the sides, we call it as a bipolar spindle apparatus. Okay, so these fibers or these spindle fibers are mainly made up of a protein that is nothing but a tubulin. Tubulin is a protein, and the spindle fibers are made up of this special protein. Okay, so due to the presence of this special protein, the fibers can able to contract as well as relax. Okay, so as they are showing the contraction and relaxation, the chromosomes can be splitted and those will be moved to the towards the poles. So those are all the changes which are going to happening in a metaphase. So next to the metaphase, we have another phase, that is anaphase. Okay, so what is happening in anaphase? As you have already seen, in a metaphase all the chromosomes came to the equatorial plate or a metaphase plate. Okay, so the spindle fibers which are formed from the centrioles or the spindle region in a cytoplasm, those are attached to the centromere region or the kinetochore region of a chromosome. Okay, once the spindle fibers are attached, the main function of spindle fibers is to drag the chromatids in the case of mitosis, whereas in a meiosis to drag the chromosomes, that is in a meiosis first stage. We'll just discuss later. Okay, so what is happening in anaphase is dragging of chromatids can be seen. Okay, so we have the two types of these spindle fibers. You can see here non-kinetochore microtubules, they are push poles apart. Okay, and the kinetochore microtubules or the spindle fibers, they are pulling the chromosomes towards the poles. Okay, so let's see what are the changes are going to happening in a anaphase. Due to the contraction of spindle fibers, the centromere of each chromosome is splitting separate and we are getting a two chromatids, and those chromatids are called as a daughter chromatids. Okay, so these chromosomes are going to move away from a equatorial plate. As we have already seen in a metaphase, the chromosomes are at a equatorial plate. In a anaphase, the chromosomes are moving away from the equatorial plate and the centromeres move towards the poles and their arms behind. So you can see here the centromeres are moving towards the poles and the arms or the chromatids are behind the centromeres. So in this case, the protein that helps the movement of this chromosomes from the metaphase to the anaphase, we call that protein as a APC. That is very important. We call it as a anaphase promoting complex. So this particular protein which is promoting the anaphase, so that the chromosomes which are present in a metaphase can be moved or can be promoted to the anaphase stage of a cell division. So that's the reason the protein which is mainly useful for this is a APC or anaphase promoting complex. So depending on a position of this centromere. Centromere is a central part of a chromosome. Depending on a position of a centromere, chromosomes attain a different shapes. So if your V, L, J and I, we are having a different names for this also. So let's have a look at this. We are having a different types of chromosomes based on a position of a centromere. So if the centromere is present, one side it is having the short arms or the short chromatids, opposite side it is having the long chromatids. That type of chromosome is called as a acrocentric. That is called as a acrocentric. So when you see here, when you observe here, these two, there is a small difference. Here it is having a very short arms, here we are having a little bit longer or the larger arms compared to this acrocentric. This particular chromosomes are called as a submetacentric. So what is metacentric is if the centromere is present at the center, that is metacentric. So it is little bit up than the center, we call it as a submetacentric. So what is this telocentric is, from the centromere we have the chromatids, but the opposite side we don't have any chromatids, that is called as a telocentric. So let's name these chromosomes. This telocentric chromosome is like a V shaped, okay. Submetacentric is L shaped, sorry. So we have the chromosome like this, centromere here, and chromatid at a one end, that is a I shaped chromosome, okay. And in another case we have a centromere and the small chromatid here and the long chromatid here, that is a J shaped. And whenever the centromere is at the center and the chromatids are like this, which is a V shaped, and one chromosome it is having a long arm or the long chromatid at the one side, short chromatid at the another side, that is a L shaped. So based on these shapes we are having a different names for this, okay. And we are having another type of chromosome also, which is showing this, it's like a normal chromosome, and it is containing at the end we have a small structures, we call it as a satellite DNA, okay. So satellite DNA is present at the end of chromatids, okay. So this is like a chromosome which is showing the satellite region. So all these are the four types of chromosomes based on a position of a centromere. So usually all these shapes can be observed in anaphase only. So this is a cell of a anaphase cell. So as you have already seen, these particular centrioles, they are forming the spindle fibers and the astral rays. They are attached to the centromere, and that is dragging the chromosomes which are present at the equatorial plate or the metaphase plate. So in this case, whenever the spindle fibers are dragging the chromosomes, the cell is going to elongate, okay. So these chromosomes which are formed from a single chromosome are called as a daughter chromosome. So the daughter chromosomes are formed in a anaphase. So once the dragging is completed, the next stage is telophase. So what is happening in telophase? Here the characters or the changes which are going to observe in this telophase is completely reversed to the prophase. So what are changes we have discussed in prophase is disappearance of nuclear membrane, nucleolus, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, everything that is going to be disappear in a prophase again reappears in a telophase, okay. So the daughter chromosomes which are at the poles, they are undergoing the decondensation. So condensation is a process which we have discussed in prophase. In this telophase, decondensation is going to be happen and lose their visibility and ultimately to form a chromatin network, okay. And the reappearance of all the cell organelles will be present. Two daughter nuclei are formed at each one will be formed at each poles. So as you have seen here, the chromosomes are completely separated. The daughter chromosomes are separated. Again they are undergoing the decondensation process. So they are forming a chromatin network, and all the cell organelles which are disappeared in a prophase, they are going to be reappear. So we are getting a two separate cells at the end of a telophase, but the cells are not completely separated. The cytoplasm is common, but the nuclear material is divided into the two. So the next stage is, until here the karyokinesis is completed, or all the changes which are going to appear in a nucleus is completed. Now the cell is ready to enter into the cytokinesis, where actually the cytoplasmic division occurs. We are getting a two equal two same sized cells. So let's discuss here. In the case of cytokinesis, we are having a formation of a cell furrow or the cleavage furrow, which can be seen in a animal cell. Okay, so they are forming a one ring called as a contractile ring. So this contractile ring is made up of a myosin 2 and the actin filaments. So this particular ring is formed at the center, which will be useful to the cell to divide it into the two daughter cells. So what is cytokinesis? At the end of a telophase, the cell furrow is formed. In the cytokinesis, the division of cytoplasm will be done into the two daughter cells. So this process is different in animal cell as well as a plant cell. So when you see in animal cell, there is a formation of a cleavage furrow or the cell furrow with the help of this myosin and the actin filaments. In the case of plant cell, we have a formation of a cell plate. Okay, cytokinesis is different in animal as well as a plant cell. So here let's discuss about the animals first. So the appearance of a shallow groove or the constriction or the furrow, cell furrow or cleavage furrow can be seen in a cell membrane in the case of animal cells. This method, this process of cytokinesis or the division of cytoplasm is called as cell furrow method or contractile ring method. This is very important, which will be asked in exams also. The animal cell is undergoing the cytokinesis by the process called as cell furrow method or contractile ring method. So when coming to the plants are forming a plate, we call it as a cell plate. So as the cytokinesis is happening in a plant cell by the formation of a cell plate, we call that method as a cell plate method. Okay, so how the cell plate is formed? At the end of a telophase, the spindle fibers, they are just forming a barrel shaped structure. We call it as a phragmoplast. Okay, at the end of a telophase, the spindle fibers which are attached to the chromosomes, they are just completely separating the chromatids, and it is forming a barrel shaped structure. We call it as a phragmoplast. And the Golgi complex, which is reappeared in a telophase, it is adding a calcium and a magnesium pectates to the phragmoplast. Okay, and due to this adding of a calcium and magnesium pectate to the phragmoplast, it is transforming into a liquid cell plate. Okay, so which is a previous stage of a middle lamellum in a plant cells. Okay, cell plate formation starts at the end of a anaphase. Okay, so the cell plate formation will be starts in a plants at the end of a anaphase, later telophase, and later cytokinesis. So the cell plate grows centrifugally and joins with the parental cell wall on both the sides. So here the cell plate is formed from the center and it is joining to the cell wall on both the sides in the case of a plant cell. So here it gradually solidifies. So previously it is in a liquid state. Okay, so it is gradually solidifies and transforms it into a solid middle lamellum, which is separating the cell into the two daughter cells. Whenever it is becoming solid, then only it can able to completely separate the cell into a two daughter cells. So in this case, sometimes the multinucleate condition will also be arised due to the free nuclear division. So this free nuclear division is leads to the formation of a condition that is a multinucleate condition. Okay, or we also call it as a xenocytic condition or syncytium condition. For example, liquid endosperm in a cocos is an example of a multinucleate condition which is arised due to the free nuclear division in this plant cells. So this is how the cytokinesis occurs in animal cell as well as a plant cell. So let's look at a summary of a mitosis. We are having the two phases, karyokinesis and the cytokinesis. Karyokinesis containing the prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Cytokinesis is nothing but that cell is completely divided into two. The cytoplasmic division is going to take place. So what is happening in prophase? The chromosomes condensation, nuclear envelope disappears, centriole move to the opposite sides of a cell, and the spindle forms or attached to the chromosomes. That is a prophase. And what is happening in metaphase? They are just coming at a middle region or the equatorial region, we forming a metaphase plate. The chromosomes are lined up on a equator of a spindle. The centrioles or comes to the opposite ends of a cell or opposite poles of a cell. So this is how the metaphase cell looks. When coming to the anaphase, the chromosomes are going to be divided or separated due to the attaching of the spindle fibers to the centromere region of a chromosome. So these chromosomes are pulled to the opposite poles by these spindles. So what is happening in telophase? The nuclear envelope again reappears and the cell is ready to enter into the cytokinesis process where the cytoplasm is divided into two cells equally. Okay, so whenever the telophase is completed, it is undergoing the cytokinesis where we are having a formation of a two daughter cells. And remember, the cell which is undergoing this mitosis is containing a diploid cell. Okay, it is a diploid cell in starting which is containing the two sets of chromosomes. After completion of all the process of mitosis, after it is undergoing the prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase, at the end of a complete separation of these cells, those two cells will also getting a equal number of chromosomes as it is in a parent cell. So that's the reason we are calling this type of cell division as equal chromosomal division or homeotypic cell division. Okay, so these two daughter cells are also containing a diploid set of chromosomes. So let's look at the significance of this mitosis. There are actually the mitosis is very important as it is useful for the equal distribution of chromosomes and to maintain the surface volume ratio, and also to know the nucleocytoplasmic index or also called as nucleoplasmic index will be useful for cell repair also. So let's look at each and every subheading here. The first significance is equal distribution of chromosomes. So the main point of a mitosis, the main motto of mitosis cell division is to distribute the chromosomes equally to the daughter cells. So then only it can maintain a consistency of chromosomal number. Okay, so all the diploid cells of an individual contain the same number of chromosomes after it is undergoing cell division also. So that is the first motto. And what is the second motto is to maintain a surface volume ratio. So here mitosis reconstitute this ratio. How it is reconstituting is small cells have more surface area than the larger cells. Okay, as the cell size is going to be increase, okay, as the cell increase in its size and its volume also increases. Okay, when the size increases, volume also increases and surface area is going to be decreased. This you need to remember very well. As the cell increasing in its size, its volume also increasing, but the surface area is going to be decreased because of this mitosis. Because of the mitosis, the surface volume ratio can be restored. Okay, so the next is nucleoplasmic index or nucleocytoplasmic index. What is this? Actually, the growth of multicellular organisms takes place by the cell division. We all know that as we are growing in the sense, the cell division is going to be taking place in our body. That type of cell division is nothing but a mitosis. So the growth of a multicellular organism is taking place by the cell division. So there is a relationship between a nucleus as well as a cytoplasm, right? So without distributing this ratio, cell cannot grow, because we have already discussed the karyokinesis and the cytokinesis. After attaining certain size, the cell need to restore this ratio. The growth depends on increase in number of cells but not increase in size of a cells. You need to remember very well, growth depends on the number of cells. Whenever the number of cells are increased, then only it just helps to grow. Whenever the size of the cell increases, it doesn't increase the or it doesn't allow the particular organism to grow. So we have a formula for this nucleoplasmic index. We can calculate that. There is a formula is NP is equal to Vn by Vc minus Vn. So what is NP? NP means nucleoplasmic index is equal to Vn in the sense nuclear volume by cell volume minus nuclear volume. So when we substitute the values in this given formula, we will be getting a nucleoplasmic index or nucleocytoplasmic index value. So here we have another a very important function of a mitosis is cell repair. So if any damage is taking place in any part of organism, okay, in those places the new cells are formed due to this mitosis division only. So you might have observed in your daily cases, if you get any cut, again the cells are going to be regrown after few days. That wound or that cut going to be healed because that particular damaged part is replaced or repaired by the cells. The cells are underwent the division, that is mitosis. Okay, the dead cells and or the upper layer of a epidermis or the cells of lining of a gut means intestines, and the RBC, all these cells are constantly being replaced with the help of a mitosis only. So we'll be having the dead cells like every day from our body. The lakhs of dead cells or the upper epidermal layer of a cells are going to be fall off, and the cell lining of a gut is also going to be damaged, and the RBC also constantly replaced by this cell repairing mechanism of a mitosis division. So in a unicellular organisms, this mitosis is useful to perform the reproduction. Okay, so whenever the unicellular organism, for example amoeba, whenever the amoeba is dividing into the two cells, that is actually considered as a mitosis, but it is acting as a reproduction in the case of unicellular organisms. Okay, the growth of multicellular organisms or it is forms, the growth can be occurred due to mitosis only. Example, when you see mitotic division in meristematic tissue, that's actually a plant tissue. The apical meristematic tissue and the lateral cambium so results in a continuous growth of plant throughout their life. So about the plant tissues, we are having this meristematic tissue, lateral tissue. So all these lateral meristems, apical meristems, intercalary meristems. So mainly at the apical meristematic tissue, the cells which are present or apical meristematic cells, they are undergoing a mitotic type of cell division. So that's the reason we can see a continuous growth of a plant throughout their life. So this is the significance of a mitosis. So here actually the question for you, I just put all the phases of the cells in not in a order. So the question is, you need to keep the phases in a correct order. So let me know in a comment section. Okay, so we'll meet in next video.